Is your metal roof leaking? Well, you can fix it yourself. It's easy with this product right here. It's called Turbo Polyseal. It's from Bergstrom Industries. There's a lot of information on YouTube. The channel is called Flat Roof Doctor. Okay, we got our Turbo Polyseal in. Description, it is from Bergstrom Industries in Greensburg, Pennsylvania. I did buy the half gallon. Let's see what's in it. There's our fleece and the can. And this, the only paperwork with it looks like the, I think they call it the SDS paperwork or something. It's got all the chemical makeup in it and all the hazardous information. The fleece, that is sandwiched between two layers. You're supposed to brush a layer down on the metal where the holes are, cut this to fit. And the Flat Roof Doctor, he did say I could just cut that in half, go with 2 inches. We'll see how that comes out. One metal can, UN 1263 paint, 1/2 gallon, 3 PG, 3, whatever all that means, and 1 roll material. So we'll get into it and see how it looks. Here's the website. This is the only place you can get it as far as I know. She be brown. Got a strong smell to it. Chemical type smell. It's going to be interesting. From what I've seen, it's going to be an excellent product. Okay, let's get her up on the roof and get started on it. Also, while I was at Harbor Freight, I picked up a bunch of junk brushes. I just want to mention too that this was not given to me. I paid the retail price for this. This is the half gallon can. This is $88 per half gallon, or I think $165 for a gallon. And the 1 gallon can does come with twice as much. You get 50 foot of the polyester fleece woven material. Half gallon, you get 25 feet. But I did see the results on this. Down the road, 3-4 years, maybe one might have been even 5 years. I'm not sure, but was still pliable, and that's a pretty good result. The Flat Roof Doctor, his channel on YouTube, that's where you can find some excellent reviews and tests on this stuff. He has done some really good tests and made some videos where he's compared this with super silicone sealant and the Flex Seal. The brush-on Flex Seal and the Flex Seal tape and the spray-on Flex Seal. He's done some really interesting tests. It's worth your while to check them out. Guys, here's the deal with, if you've used any silicone, you have to remove all traces of the silicone. So after I pulled out the silicone plugs, silicone RTV, any kind of a caulking that's got silicone in it, you have to get it all out because the chemical makeup of the Turbo Polyseal, it does not like it. It will not bond too good with it. And then after you clean it and water brush it again, I'm going to go back with acetone as the final preparation for that. You only have to do this to the holes where you've previously applied any kind of a silicone sealant. Dissolving a lot of the paint too. And just for grins, I think I'm going to take the grinder to it again one last time. Mainly because I don't like the residue that where it dissolved the paint. Well, my hose may be too big, but I'll get a coating on there and then we'll go with the fabric. It won't hurt anything by dripping down in there. This one here is just a bunch of pinholes right here. You don't have to be too concerned about pushing the fabric down with your fingertips because you're going to push it down as you apply the second coat like this. And we'll come up and check on this in 24 hours. We'll do it again in 48 hours. I believe around the 48-hour mark you should be good to go. We're going to do a test spot with one coating. We'll check it in 24 hours and again at 48. I won't use the fabric on the test area. We'll just see how tough that one layer is. You can see there's just several holes. Some pinholes, some a little bigger. I like to hit these areas with the wire brush right before I apply the poly seal. To me, there's something satisfying about doing this kind of work. And I just feel better about the process using the fabric, the fleece fabric. It just seems like it gives me an extra layer. Because you've seen some of the holes. The material, the viscosity was thin enough just to let it drip on through. So I've got to bridge it somehow. I'm just trying to buy some time. There'll come a time, if I live long enough, this metal roof will have to be torn off and a new one put on. That's just all there is to it. This original roof, this roof here is probably 40 years old, possibly as old as 45 years old. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask in the comment section. And if I don't have the information, I'll get it from the flat roof doctor, and he might even chime in. After you get it on, should be covered up with some kind of a paint. I'm going to go with the oil-based red oxide primer and then 2 top coats from Sherwin-Williams. But any kind of a coating over it will do because you need to protect it from the sun's ultraviolet rays. Okay, here's our test area. This is 24 hours old right now. We're going to check it again. Tomorrow, we'll do it at 48 hours, and we may do it at 72. But 24 hours later, you saw how it brushed on. Right now, I can barely take my fingers and kind of roll it back. I don't know if that's going to show up or not, but you can get an idea of the texture of it there. You can cut your fingernail into it. Has a nice rubbery texture feel to it. Now this does not have the poly fleece under it. This is just one layer. This is doing really good. This would have the poly fleece. You can see the layer where the fleece starts here and runs clear down to here. I'm having to put a bright light in my barn and come up here when it's dark and look through these pinholes. And you can see the light through some of these pinholes, and I found some last night. And 2, what's happening is that as I sand or as I brush it with my wire brush, I'm exposing some more. Okay, here's our test area. This is just one layer after 48 hours. See what it does with the fingernail. Doesn't cut as deep. I'm putting more pressure on it. Feels more like just a sheet of rubber. Now I've done rolled that one up on the 24-hour test, so that's not fair. So let's go over here and see if I can roll it up. Oh, it feels real good, real tough. And that's at 48 hours, and I'm not going to paint it in 48 hours. I'll wait at least maybe 4 or 5 days. See, I've pushed that up really hard. Let's go ahead and tear it off. See that? It feels just like rubber. I realize it's not rubber. It's some kind of polyurethane. But it is not silicone. Okay, let's try to lift this up. Okay, we might check it again in another 24 hours. That'll be a 72-hour test. Let's do that. We'll just see if it gets any tougher. I've got some areas here untouched. We'll try that. The nice big patches, they're looking and feeling really good. Of course, you don't want to wait too many days because the flat roof doctor says that it can suffer from the UV rays. So within a week, I'm going to be getting a coat of red oxide primer on it. Kem Bond from Sherwin-Williams. Okay, we're at the 72-hour mark. Starting to get some rain right now, so I'm going to quickly do this. It's quite a bit tougher. I think it's going to be a good coating.